Hello, my name is Charles Dickens, or Chickens for short. Welcome to Vintage Keys Studio. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you very much for all the attention I've been receiving recently on the channel. It's very nice to hear everyone's comments, and it's especially nice because half the time I haven't got a clue about histories of things, or even sometimes when I've got a broken instrument that's very rare, I don't know, how it's supposed to sound. So it's really helpful when people have been giving up little comments to say what certain buttons do on things and how they're supposed to sound. It's very useful for me when I'm kind of fixing stuff as well. So keep doing that, that's really good, thank you very much. And I've got some hair. So today we're going to be looking at the Lowrey TLO-R, I think it's called that. This one is the sort of step up from the DSO, which I've done a video to, which you shall see a link here. And it's a completely transistor based organ. I can't work out exactly when it was made, but judging from a book called Recording the Beatles from Curvebender Press, an amazing book which is well worth a good read, and I think it was $100. This organ appears to be, it was certainly around in 1969 because Apple Studios in Savile Row, London had one, and I'm not sure if it was ever used on anything particular, but it was definitely there on their inventory. I actually got this organ for 99 pence a few years ago. Then I got another one for free. So they're out there, and I can't understand why more people don't use these things, because they're absolutely effing brilliant. Now, pretty much everything on this does work. This is obviously a little bit more reliable than the valve smashed up version of a DSO I've got over there. So let's just sort of take you on a brief tour. I won't go too much into detail on this because you'll all fall asleep. Especially my mum. She says that I just witter on. It's okay. That's how my mum and I say hello to each other. First things first, I should tell you that I can't read all of the writing on here because it's rubbed off a bit over the years where it's been dusted with Mr. Sheen. This section here is the upper keyboard, the swell keyboard, and the lower section comprises of the bass pedals and then a few selections for the lower keyboard, sustain, and then vibrato. So if I just take you through some of these sounds on here. So here we have, if I just put that down, it'll increase the level. We've got trombone, and then clarinet, and then trumpet, and then oboe, and then, what's that say? Kainura. And then we have cello and string. Or does that say sting? Might say sting. And then obviously and as I said in the previous video about the DSO, these are obviously they're called names to give you an idea of the flavour of the tone filter, but they are really just tone filters. Then you have this coupling tab, which, because you've got flutes here as well, you see. That gives you an extra bit of a tone control over the sound there. Not sure exactly how it's interacting. I'm sure someone can tell me. And then, unlike the DSO, this has actually got independent flute sounds. So you've got like the bass flute sound, and then you've got an 8-foot, and then there's a 4-foot. Then you've got a solo 2 2/3 harmonic. Sorry, that's the 12th harmonic. So you should be able to hear that. That's like adding a 5th above. Just like doing that. You can see that with the other hand. Or that. Sort of. More like that, actually. Anyway, and then we have a brilliance control. Okay, let's have a talk about the pedals. You've got a standard 13-note pedal board. Just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. So we've got some volume controls there. We've got the 8-foot pedal and the 16-foot pedal. But also, interestingly, this comes with a bass guitar type of sound as well. And you can have that like a kind of a plucky sound over the top, which is okay. And then you've got the left-hand sounds. You've got this Melodia, and then a diapason, viola, and cornet. Quite like the cornet there. You've also got, rather nicely, the sustain functions there, but I don't think they work on the lower. It's a bit weird having them on the tabs for the lower. They work for the upper keyboard. So you've got a short sustain, an off sustain, so no sustain, and a long sustain. And if you were very sneaky, you could actually, hang on, let's just get this right. You could pretend you had a Lowrey DSO on this and go. But it isn't one really. So that's the sustain, and then you can obviously. Getting the grips with all the different solo buttons I find tricky, because I don't play this every day. That's the basic sounds on it. As with the DSO, you also have repeat functions. This one actually works a lot better than the DSO one does at the moment, just because it's the DSO. It's not. This is a little bit broken. this. I think there's a bit of a fault there because it's only going the same speed no matter what speed I put it on. Oh, if I hit it lots, it gets faster. Yeah, a bit of a dodgy connection there. Again, these things are prone to dust because of the way that the switches are set out. And I suppose I better mention again about Pete Townsend. Pete Townsend and Beethoven. You can adjust the repeat circuitry in this, so it's the same as a TB01, which is a Berkshire Lowrey, but I really can't be bothered. And then we have the usual upper to lower switch, so at the moment you've got that and nothing on the bottom, and then if you press that will just assign the same. You've also got the attack, which is rather nice actually. So you've got the auto-orchestration function. So again, if I play an interesting chord here, that one. So a bit of a less abrasive sound. Then we also have, as well as the other Lowrey, there's a built-in Leslie speaker here. So you have to. The Leslie's on now, and then it will switch over to the Leslie when I press this button. And you can hear it slowing down there, and then speeding back up again. And then if you switch it back onto the main setting, you've also got a main chorus setting. Again, that seems to somehow feed off of the Leslie when it slows down. That chorus effect is the swirling, the sound that the Leslie. I should say that the Leslie speaker itself doesn't spin round. There's a polystyrene drum with a sort of sound deflector on it. So the speaker's stationary, and there's a spindle with this polystyrene drum with a sound deflector that moves round. So it's kind of using the Doppler effect to spin round and do that. And in fact, if you want the Leslie speaker effect from a sort of a pretty bad singer, why not just give me a call and come here and I'll do it for you. Some enchanted evening. Yeah. Then we have the add main to Leslie, which is just like you've got the Leslie speaker sound going. Oh. And it sort of just adds the same, the main sound as it says there, add main to Leslie. Now, this is a really nice green switch here, sort of a marbled effect switch. And you can see it says wow wow on it. Which it's actually wah wah, as it's become known as. And this green jeweled knob here is the how much wah wah you have. Now what it actually does is that you press that button and it turns the expression pedal that I'm using down here with my foot into a wah-wah pedal. And then the green jeweled knob will allow you to change the level still. So it sort of switches the level. Without that on is controlled by the pedal, and then when you switch that on, the level is controlled by this one. And then the pedal will make it go wow. And it's a really good thing if you've got someone who's telling you something really boring, you can just sit on one of these at any time of the night or day, and when they've just told you their boring story, you can go. I've also stuck a line input into the back of this, and so you can imagine you can run sounds into it through the Leslie and also through the wah-wah pedal. And I've done some quite interesting reampings of guitar parts through the Leslie. I won't do it now, but you can get like Jimi Hendrix guitar type stuff. If Jimi Hendrix played the Lowrey organ, he would have had one of these. Like the Lowrey DSO in the other video, this has also got a little switch down by on the left hand side of the foot, which enables you to move the pitch of the whole organ down a semitone. So that's auto glide. And unlike the DSO, this will only glide. It won't go da da da. It just goes da da. If I just turn that off. Now, there's a few other controls over here, because there's even more gimmicks and gadgets on this than there is on the Lowrey DSO. So, join me over this side. Firstly, there's a reverb built into this one, which is quite good. And then you've also got these set of keys here, which are triggering keys. So you can, as you're playing notes, it will allow you to also trigger some really rudimentary sounds from the keyboard, rudimentary drum sounds. So you've got bass drum, which I'm not sure works. Or maybe it does. Hang on. Oh yes, it is coming on, but it's not particularly loud. And then you've got a snare drum coming from the lower manual. And then the lower manual pedal, you've also got it is actually quite useful. I take it back. Well, that's not bad. I might sample that. And then we have tom-tom on the lower manual. And then you've got bongo on the lower manual. And then your blocks. And then clave or clave. And then unified tom-tom bongo bollocks divided. Oh yes, you've got two in one. Now, avid listeners will possibly recognise that actually sounds a little bit like the Onduline percussion strip. And I have actually done a session for a friend of mine, sitting here for about 4 or 5 hours just doing this. But that is the nature of sampling. This sounds rather nice with the reverb. And if I stick them all on there and then just go mad. Oh dear. But anyway, if you don't want that to happen when you play, you've also got this these lovely keys here, which are my favourites actually, because they will let you play the individual sounds by themselves. Isn't that good? You can adjust the volume there. Never worked out what brush accent means. It might mean you get like a slightly French brush or maybe an Italian sounding brush. I don't know. That is the Lowrey TLO-R. And now this one did come with a small drum machine stuck underneath it, but I didn't really want that, so I sold it. So the Lowrey TLO-R, which was very cheap and cheerful, but I've actually used it on lots and lots of sessions, and it does kind of sound sort of like a DSO-1 on a good day, and it's very useful for processing sounds through it as well, which is what I like. That's the end of today's lecture. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time for another fun-packed video. And I'll leave you in the very capable wings and beak of the wonderful Mr. Desmond Dodo.